Vic here, and I'm going to be showing you how to give yourself purple eyebrows just using makeup. Alright, so what you're going to need is an eyeshadow of your choice. I'm going to be using the Urban Decay palette. The color I'm going to be using is called Urban, and I actually have gone ahead and done one eyebrow already, so you're going to kind of see how that looks, but I will walk you through it. So you can use any eyeshadow. You can use more shimmery eyeshadows or more matte eyeshadows. It really depends on your preference and how your eyebrow is going to come out, depending on what you want. I recommend starting off by using a primer. Depending if the eyeshadow is a little bit more shimmery, I recommend using Urban Decay's Sinful Primer Potion. Super great. You don't necessarily need a primer for this look if you're going to be wearing it for 3-4 hours, but if you're going to like a concert or, you know, a night on the town and you want to make sure your eyebrows are staying in place, I recommend using a primer. The other primer I recommend using is just the original Urban Decay primer. If you're using something more matte like this one, I wouldn't say this is necessarily as glittery or shimmery, but if you want to use something a little bit more shimmer based, glitter based, I would recommend Sinful. I imagine any other primers would do just as good. I just recommend those. What else you're going to need for this look is a brush, particularly one that is a little finer and it is not too long. It's just going to make it easier when you're kind of like brushing in the color. And the last thing you're going to need is a white base. I'm using, alright, let me see if I can get closer. I'm using NYX white base. NYX also has a pencil that is just as nice and creamy as this one. I really like this. I feel like it's super easy to work with, and it's not only good for, doing eyebrows. It's good for making eyeshadows really pop and things of that nature. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is open up your NYX base, and with your brush, you're just going to grab it enough to just kind of cover it in white. And now this is super important to this look. You're not gonna necessarily start painting in the direction of your eyebrow, and the reason why is you don't want to really get this so much on your skin as much as your hair, so you're going to be combing that out into your hair. So I'm going to take a second and do that really quick. And another thing too, this might take up to 5 minutes or so, so take your time, don't rush. I'm going to be putting a couple of coats on white. You want your eyebrows to be completely covered. Also keep in mind, depending the color you pick, I'm choosing purple, but if you decide to pick green, blue, whatever you want, what you're going to want to think about is this is white, so depending on how much you brush in the color, it's going to change the color. Alright, so I'm going to keep on going with my white. And like I said, I'm brushing kind of against the hair. I'm not pushing down hard at all. I'm taking my time. It's not super hard to fix this if you do mess up and get a little on your skin. This is a super nice, creamy, smooth base and really easy cleanup. And you're gonna look awfully silly with this on, so don't be afraid. It'll be worth it. Okay. And I'm just going to put a little bit more on. Okay. Now, does it necessarily have to be perfectly even? No. Actually, after you put on the eyeshadow, you're actually going to go back and put another layer if you want. It all depends on how dark or light you're trying to make them. Okay, I feel I'm about ready to start putting on the eyeshadow. Yeah, the reason I feel this is super great is you don't, I mean, at the end of the night, you can just kind of wash it off. And the same thing again, you're not going to be necessarily combing onto the grain of your hair. You're going to be combing against it because, like I said, you want to really get in your hair versus on your skin. Because then you're going to come up with like more cartoony looking eyebrows, and I mean, if that's what you're going for, cool. But I prefer more natural shaped eyebrows. And like I said, this isn't going to look good until you put a couple coats. Take your time. You shouldn't be pushing too hard. Just kind of, you know, cover that hair up. Okay. It's starting to come together. I would say about 2 more coats and you should have this eyebrow looking like that one. And like I said, you don't have to go out and spend $50 on a palette. I do highly recommend this palette. I love it. I probably use it once a week. It's great. It's got about 10 really, really bright colors in it. And I'm crazy about it. And now I'm getting a little closer to what this looks like. So I'm going to start actually combing in the direction of my eyelashes. I mean my eyebrows. Now I'm going to briefly clean my brush, just a few swatches on the back of the hand, which should be fine. But what I'm going to be doing is going back into the white base. What this is going to do, it's kind of almost going to naturally gel your eyebrows in one way. Again, make them a little cleaner and kind of really bring out that color. Not too much, just like enough to kind of cover them a little bit. And I know I didn't apply the primer because unfortunately I'm not going out tonight. But you apply it just like the base, comb against the hair. Also, if you're if you're wondering what kind of brush I'm using, I literally got this brush for $1 and it's my favorite brush. I've bought $20, $30 brushes and nothing compares to this. It's by like Elf or something, and it's just a nice rounded tight bristled brush. Yeah, that's my favorite. And like I said, it was $1. I kind of feel like a dummy for wasting all that money on brushes that don't even do as good a job. Alright, so there you go. Got some nice purple brows. You ready to go out? Thanks for watching. I hope this helped, and have a good one.